My name is Cassandra Watson. I came with some Garrett kids that are from the Harvest of Hope Garrett program under WSU Washington State University. We've got kids here from Moses Lake, Touchy, Walla Walla, Prescott, College Place, Soap Lake, Warden, and I'm hoping I remember them all. Ambrochi. And we bring them here every year. This is the big camp of the year. We've gone to several camps, but this is the preferred one. And personally, this one is the most emotional, most bonding one. The time that Linda takes into getting the counselors, she gets these counselors that they're not here just to babysit. They're here to get to know the kids and make connections, and they're just as emotionally involved as the children are by the time this is over. And I haven't met a kid yet who did not like coming here. You know, you always get the ones that are like, oh, it was boring here or there, but it turns out to be a real fantastic experience. They see the bigger world. They get out there and they see this massive college with all these diverse peoples and diverse ways of doing things, all these possible other careers other than the local mechanic or the police officer, you know, which are all good careers, but they need to broaden their minds. And it always opens up the eyes for at least one or two students, and that's our whole goal for getting them here. We don't work with just minority or low-income groups, but a lot of them are. We get them out here, they're kind of like, wow, I had no idea that this was a possibility even. Some places have them write essays about why do they want to go, and it's a selection process. We usually pick a student based on whether or not we feel they really kind of need to get out of town. And then we meet with them individually and kind of let them know what it's about. We also have parent meetings where we go and meet the parents. Garrett sends a chaperone like myself or Liz Crowell along so that the parents know somebody there. And we have a cell phone with us 24/7 so we can communicate back and forth. And then of course we try and take about 1,000 pictures and get them all up so the kids can show their friends, and so next year they can say, oh, that's that camp so-and-so went to.
Are you good? Side plan. What's your name? Ready? All right, girl, get up there. What do I do? You gotta get them up. Come on, jump as high as you can. That's funny. Good. I never laughed at that. Good for you.
There are times where we really need to step back because the kids need to get away from their hometown and their home people and stuff, but I think it's a huge thing for parents who don't want to let their kids go. And then of course you have a student who, last week we had one who just was not enjoying himself. And so I sat with him for a couple of days and it helped him get back on track, and by the time it was over we barely communicated, which I consider a good thing. This time around I've hardly had to talk to anybody or communicate with anybody. If someone's sick and the counselors and everybody need to focus on those kids, I can stay with them if they're my student or even another student. So it's a real support role, but at the same time sometimes it's a completely separate just kind of entity walking around taking pictures. If there weren't programs like Gear Up or Cougar Quest where we actually took the kid and said, look, this person over here looks just like you and they did it. You know, all these different types of people and situations. And I think most of them just don't get it unless they see it. So, like I said, I don't think there really would be a transition. They'd be on their own.
What do you see as special about the counselor relationship in what's provided here?
There's a spark. There's something that they find when they search for these folks. The counselors are going out of their way to know the students and know their names. Not just say, oh yeah, here's your class, you're safe, okay, I'm going to go read a book or whatever. They're there with them, getting involved, and if they can't figure something out, they'll seek out me, or they'll call their parents and say, oh, I'm just not connecting, you know, how can I make it with this person? I've been to other things where they just have volunteer chaperones and they're like, oh yeah, they're in their hall, they're okay. So it's just, you almost have to see it to believe it kind of thing. It's such an amazing experience.